part 4 ng lecture natin about cost concepts and design economics. I-discuss natin dito yung general economic environment. Under nun yung consumer and producer goods and services, measures of economic work, necessities, luxuries, and price demand. Sama na rin natin hanggang competition. Marami tayong engineering economic concepts na dapat i-consider sa gagawin natin dito sa engineering economics. Yung economics, ang sabi doon, siya yung tinitingnan natin dito kung ano yung relationship between people and wealth. And then yung engineering naman, concerned to sa cost-effective use of scientific knowledge to benefit humankind. Cost-effective, so papasok dito yung concept natin dun sa yung pinag-aaralan natin dito sa engineering economics. So okay na mag-present tayo ng maraming alternatives para malaman natin kung ano yung susuit dun sa requirement natin engineering-wise, and then titingnan natin kung siya ba yung pinaka-cost-effective. So yung pipili natin. So yun nasa engineering economics. First, so proceed tayo sa consumer and producer goods and services. So consumer goods and services, ito yung mga products or services that are directly used by people to satisfy their wants. Example ay yung food, clothing, homes, cars, television sets, haircuts, opera, and medical services. So, dapat yung provider ng consumer goods, aware sila dun sa mga gusto o sa pagbabago ng mga gusto ng tao. Kung saan, dun sila syempre ibibenta yung mga products nila. Next naman, producer goods and services. So, used to produce consumer goods and services or other producer goods. Example nito yung machine tools, factory buildings, buses, and farm machinery. So, meron din dito ang sabi, the amount of producer goods needed is determined indirectly by the amount of consumer goods or services that are demanded by the people. However, because the relationship is much less direct than for consumer goods and services, the demand for and production of producer goods may greatly precede or lag the demand for the consumer goods that they will produce. Pwedeng interpretation natin dito na hindi siya direct dun sa kung gaano karami yung demand ng mga tao. Directly proportional siya dun sa kung gaano karami yung gustong i-require ng producer ng consumer goods and services. Ganun kadami yung nagiging demand para dun sa mga producers goods and services. Hindi siya related dun sa consumer goods and services. So next ay measures of economic worth. Goods and services are produced and desired because they have utility. So yung utility, yun yung power to satisfy human wants and needs. Thus, they may be used for consumed directly, or they may be used to produce other goods and services. The utility is most measured in terms of value, expressed in some medium of exchange as the price that must be paid to obtain the item. So yung utility, yung parang magiging function niya dun sa consumer or kung gaano ka-valuable yung item mo in terms dun sa viewpoint ng consumer. At nakafocus tayo dun sa pag-i-increase ng value na yun para sa consumer mo, para mas kumbaga pumatok yung product mo or yung service mo. Pwedeng i-change natin kung ano yung features niya compared dun sa competition para mas maging mataas yung value ng product or service mo. So, yung utility, pwedeng monetary, kapalit ng utility yun, yung monetary aspect na kailangan bayaran ng consumer para magamit yung product or service mo. Next naman yung necessities, luxuries, and cost demand. So, yung goods and services, pwedeng sabihin natin na needs at saka want, or necessities and luxuries. Obviously, these terms are relative, because for most goods and services, what one person considers a necessity will be considered a luxury by another. For example, kung sa isang community, tingin mo kailangan ng sasakyan to travel around the city, need mo yung pagkakaroon ng sasakyan or ng automobile. Kaya lang, kung nasa isang city ka naman, na efficient yung transportation system, na hindi mo kailangan ng sasakyan. So, ang pagkakaroon ng sasakyan doon, i-consider ng luxury. So, may relationship tayo dun sa price at saka sa demand. dun sa product mo, service. Kapag mas mataas yung price, mababa syempre yung demand dun sa product. Kapag naman mababa yung price mo or binaba mo yung price, at same utility, tataas yung demand dun sa product mo. May equation tayo dito, or graph. Equation P, which is price, is equal to A minus BD. Which yung P yan yung price, yung D yan yung demand. Wherein yung A is the intercept on the price axis, and negative B is the slope. So negative B yung slope dahil nga nakakonsider na yung relationship na kapag nababa yung price, nataas yung demand. So inverse yung relationship nila. So meron din tayo dito na yung demand should be greater than or equal to 0. It should be less than or equal to dun sa ratio ng A at saka ng B. Yung A should be greater than 0. So syempre yun yung sa price. Intercept natin yung price axis. And then yung B should be, yung absolute value ng B should be greater than 0. So then arrive din doon na pwedeng i-consider natin na yung demand is equal to A minus P over B. Simpleng algebra lang naman ito, makuha natin ito. Pero yung B should not be equal to 0. Kasi pag equal to 0 yan, magiging horizontal lang yung graph mo. Next ay yung competition. So may mga terms tayo dito, yung perfect competition tsaka yung monopoly. So yung mga economic principles natin, kino-consider dito yung perfect competition. So in perfect competition, it occurs in a situation in which any given product is supplied by a large number of vendors and there's no restriction on additional supplies or suppliers entering the market. So dahil nga perfect competition, so maraming vendors or suppliers na pwedeng pagkunan yung mga buyers natin. So may assurance na magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na complete freedom both ng buyer at ng seller. Yung seller, so maraming seller ang pwedeng pumasok sa market, given same product, tapos yung buyer, may freedom sila kung kaninong vendor or supplier sila kuha ng product na yun. So in perfect competition, pwedeng hindi siya mag-occur talaga in actual practice. Siyempre, dahil pa rin dun sa action ng buyer and sellers, kung yung mga sellers and buyers pasok dun sa isang market na marami ng supplier, tapos yung buyer, kung itong iba-iba pa rin ba yung pipiliin nilang seller para mag-supply dun sa product na service na gusto nilang kunin. Pero mas okay or mas madaling mag-formulate ng general economic laws pag perfect competition yung pinili natin. Next naman yung monopoly, opposite yun ng perfect competition. Perfect monopoly exists when a unique product or service is only available from a single supplier and that vendor can prevent the entry of all others into the market. So in perfect monopoly, kapag isang supplier lang yung pinagkukunan ng a certain unique product or service. So dito yung buyer, consider natin na nasa kamay nung monopolist or nung vendor, nag-iisang vendor, kung ano yung availability or price ng product na yun. So perfect monopoly rarely occur in practice dahil few products are so unique that substitutes cannot be used satisfactorily and governmental regulations prohibit monopolies if they are unduly restrictive. So mahirap magawa ng perfect monopoly dahil maraming pwedeng mag-develop ng almost the same product dun sa ino-offer nung isang seller. Kasi yung isa pa, so syempre hindi hahayaan ng government yun dahil kawawa yung mga buyers niya. Okay, so recap tayo ng lecture natin. So na-discuss natin yung first part ng general economic environment, consumer and producer goods and services, measures of economic worth, yung competition ay necessities, luxuries and price, demand, competition. So yan, discuss natin yung perfect competition, monopoly. Yung next naman natin is yung total revenue function. Makikita natin yung relationship ng revenue, so syempre sa price at sa demand. So mayroon tayong different scenarios para malaman natin kung nasan yung mga tinatawag na break-even points, kung ano yung point of maximum profit at certain demand, So, magkakaroon tayo mga sample problems do'n.